When it comes to black culture, we're distinctly reminded over and over again of slavery, we shall overcome speeches and monologues, and niggas being so gangster that we choose to only lash out at ourselves and hurt our own community. Yeah, we know. We here at Spoiled Minds decided to educate you on a few subjects that might have been hidden under the rug. Now, some of you may already know the subjects that we're about to discuss, and if so, kudos to you. I hope and pray that you don't just keep this knowledge to yourself, but continue to share it with others. Now, without further ado, I present to you the top 5 things you need to know about your culture. Number 1, trivia question. Who was the richest man on earth? Come on. Anybody? No. No. Hell no. There we go. Introducing to you people, Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was an emperor in Mali in the 1300s who had a net worth of $400 billion. Now, that's a lot of money. Musa basically controlled everything and created himself an empire and had a personal wealth the likes of which the world has never seen and probably will never see again. He was so rich they had coins made of him. Yes, coins. See there? There for your periphery. It is documented that on his stop to Cairo, Egypt, the emperor gave out so much gold that he generated a brief decline in his value. I wonder if the name Rockefeller Records would have not been named after John D. Rockefeller if they knew about Mansa Musa. Maybe Musa Records or Mansa Musa. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Number 2, Willie Lynch, the making of a slave. Now, this subject is up for debate. The Willie Lynch letter was a speech that was said to have been delivered by Willie Lynch on the bank of James River in the colony of Virginia in 1712. The letter itself was said to be a fake, but Willie Lynch was definitely real. Also, while the person who wrote the letter had little knowledge of the 18th century American English, the author appeared to be familiar with historical documented tactics of Lynch and others. So the information in the context presented within the letter is very, very real. The letter is still such a heavy influence that people still question if the tactics are still being used to this day.
His methods were very simple, but they were diabolical.
Keep the slave physically strong, but psychologically weak and dependent on the slave master.
Keep the body, take the mind. I and every other professor on this campus are here to help you to find, take back, and keep your righteous mind.
Number 3, self-hatred. Nothing like keeping a race down by making them all hate each other. Bravo, cruel system. Disregarding the fact that we are all in the same situation like a colony, we tend to do the worst harm to each other and not to the ones who made the outcome possible in the first place, which raises a question of concern for me. Being a person more concerned with how things are developed rather than just analyzing the finished product, I tend to look at the glorification of ignorance, the poverty-stricken environments that gives us no hope at all, the fact that guns are so easy to find, the fact that we're most likely to get caught with drugs even though not one Negro owns a poppy field, and the fact that we have more black men in prison than we have in the natural population. But hey, none of that sounds fishy at all, right? Right?
Right.
Number 4, African heritage. We usually don't hear anything in the history books about great African civilizations like Kemet, which is today known as Egypt, or about the Empire of Mali, profited heavily from trade in gold and salt. By the 14th century, Mali's territory had expanded so far it was equivalent to the size of Western Europe. Also, the Empire of Kush, stop it, I know what you're thinking, was centered around the city of Meroe. Meroe was rich in iron, and people there used timber from the trees growing in the area to fuel the furnaces they used to produce iron. This is also well documented in Hidden Colors produced by Tariq Nasheed. Great series. The Kush Empire is also well known to be ran by powerful women known as Candaces, or warrior queen, who ruled with the iron fist. Legend has it that Alexander the Great tried to conquer the lands below Egypt, but was met with these Candaces. Alexander withdrew his army and never attempted to try to conquer Kush again. Oh, by the way, Egypt is in Africa. Africa. Number 5, Black Wall Street. You know how we say support black business and black own this and buy black own that? Well, we kind of already had that. Back in 1921 in Greenwood, the Black District in Tulsa, Oklahoma, blacks created their own businesses and services, including several grocery stores, 2 independent newspapers, 2 movie theaters, nightclubs, and numerous churches. Black professional doctors, dentists, lawyers, all who served the community. They selected their own leaders and raised capital to support economic growth. It was actually very prosperous, but things took a turn when a 19-year-old black shoe shiner by the name of Dick Rowland was on an elevator and was falsely accused of assaulting a 17-year-old white girl who was the elevator operator. There was no one else present in the elevator, and the police claimed they had a statement from the young lady, although it never surfaced. She even told them that she wasn't even going to press charges. Anywho, a certain group of people heard about this and got mad. An angry mob went into Greenwood and started a riot. Numerous of eyewitnesses described airplanes dropping firebombs on buildings, homes, and fleeing families. Law enforcement officials later stated that the planes were provided for protection against Negro uprising. And I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking. Wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me our own government actually bombed one of its own cities? Yes. First time in history. Blew them all to smithereens. In the end, 300 African Americans were dead and over 600 successful businesses were lost. Yes, America. Yes. Accepted. Let me end this off by saying that here at Spoiled Minds we want and our goal is for unity amongst all. No matter who you are, what you are, we should embrace each other as human beings. That is our goal. But when it comes to completely mistreating my people, misrepresenting who we are as a culture, the amount of disrespect we receive as a race, whitewashing our history, and making us feel like we always have a target on our back, and you still have the audacity to be mad in any way about this video, just because I want to uplift my people. Well, all I can really say is, yeah, that's really self-explanatory. Stay blessed, people.